Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in, welcome back. It is Thieves' Cant, Monday, January 12th. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Glad to have you along as always. Hey, thank you for starting the week right here with us. Remember, you can subscribe at thievescantcast. You can email thievescantcast@gmail.com. Chris, ready to start the week?
I'm ready.
Okay, we've got a new crowdfunding spotlight today. We've got some listener feedback on Universal Subsystems, one of our conversations from last week. And, of course, the latest headlines. Let's jump in. Since we revisited his 2025 predictions last Monday, Scott Thorne, game store owner in Southern Illinois, he's a marketing instructor as well. He's made his predictions for 2026. And his first prediction, as one of last year's did, centers on tariffs. Scott predicts the Supreme Court will likely rule the Trump administration's use of tariffs illegal, the broad use. He goes on to say that the court is expected to allow previously imposed tariffs to stand rather than ordering refunds. So affected companies would have to sue individually for repayment. That's all I really want to talk about as far as tariffs go. This is not a political show, nor are we savvy enough, I think, to really understand everything that's at play.
Anti-savvy. That's me.
All right, prediction 2. He says demand for Pokemon collectibles is expected to continue growing. Scott says this is a different situation and circumstance from the boom-bust cycles of the 90s, sports cards and comic books. Instead, he says Pokemon supply is controlled by a single company, but it still can't meet demand. And as a result, demand will eventually peak. But his prediction is that this does not happen before at least 2027. So in other words, Pokemon is going nowhere in 2026. Now, you've got a son that is into the Pokemon, right?
Got a lot of Pokemon. Yes. I just found out who, I hope I get this right, Greninja? I think it's a frog ninja.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Ninja Turtles.
That's his favorite. That's his guy.
Yeah.
So I'm learning.
And finally, Scott's third prediction has to do with WotC. He says Wizards of the Coast is expected to scale back its D&D release slate for 2026, and the absence of an announced product schedule would certainly indicate so. But Scott says that we also have to consider weaker Magic the Gathering sales last year as part of the reason for maybe less D&D this year.
Mm-hmm.
Retailers are also expected to significantly reduce orders for the upcoming Marvel Superheroes Magic set, though it remains unclear whether reduced retailer confidence will translate into reduced consumer demand. The Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set that came out last year was kind of surprisingly to me, just from the outside looking in, that it was kind of a bust.
Yeah.
It was not well received. And so that would lead to maybe lower expectations for the upcoming Marvel Superheroes set.
So I wonder how much, with the Magic sales down, the reduced schedule for D&D, how much does that impact the local game store? Or, is it getting picked up somewhere else? Are they seeing sales in other areas or from other companies? I wonder how much that impacts them directly.
Okay, so those are Scott Thorne's 2026 predictions. And of course, as we just noted, we don't have a lot of announced D&D products on the schedule for 2026. We don't know what WotC's got planned for D&D this year, but we do have some new D&D merchandise dropping soon from Ultra Pro. They just announced new D&D campaign journals coming in Q2, class-specific journals for your D&D character, as long as your character is one of the core four, right? Rogue, wizard, fighter, or cleric. Is there a single D&D class that is not like an offshoot of one of those?
I mean, I think those are the archetypes, right?
Right.
I mean, like
everything beyond that could be a subclass.
It's like tank, striker, healer, glass cannon. Yeah, I mean, those are,
Right.
yeah, everything is, yeah.
I mean,
much.
every class is some variant of a rogue, a wizard, a cleric, or a fighter.
A variant or a combination of them.
But at any rate, these journals are they are expected to feature a leatherette exterior. Ooh, leatherette.
Oh.
Yeah, a foil accent on the cover, like kind of a class symbol.
Yeah.
On the inside, there's some artwork and then 250 double-sided dot grid pages along with a ribbon bookmark. So if you like to journal, if you like to keep a character record outside of a character sheet, this could be fun. I've tried using something like this in the past for a character.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that sounds good to me in practice, and then I quickly lose momentum with it. Like, I don't want to keep up with this.
Well, it's something that, like, I wish I had done with every character, to go back and get those stories and those things that happen. But I can't even write down notes. No, it's never going to happen.
Right.
But it would be cool.
Yeah, even the notes field on your character sheet is
It's bare.
just blank.
It says 3 healing potions. That's all that's there.
We've also got, coming from Sirius, a supersized D20, like 55 millimeter D20, with a giant Themberchaud inside. Themberchaud the dragon, the big fat dragon from the movie.
Okay, I thought that was a word I was supposed to know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that word means, but that's a name. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. The fat dragon.
Yeah. And so just if you can't get 55 millimeter scale in your head, like this is a big chunky D20.
It's big.
Like-
It's chunky.
Like chunky boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So-
is the big chungus of dice.
Right. So that could be cool.
What is it? Is it like a foam thing or is it a...
No.
No, it's like
so.
plastic?
Just
Does
like
it come in metal? Did you get a metal die like that?
I don't know if that would be legal.
That's called a cannonball.
Finally, in our headlines, this is cool. Games Workshop has announced that they have plans to build a new Warhammer World flagship venue in Washington, D.C. There's only one other Warhammer World, and that is in Nottingham in the UK. So this will be the second ever. I wish it was more central in the U.S. instead of in D.C., but it's still cool to have something like this stateside. It's expected to be similar to the Nottingham venue, which consists of an event hall, so like perfect for a con,
Right.
An exhibition center, also perfect for a con, a bar and restaurant, and of course the Warhammer World store. Like, this sounds awesome.
It does sound pretty cool. Yeah.
Planning for a 2027 opening, so maybe summer of 2027 we road trip.
Yeah.
Kids, we're going to Warhammer World.
Start working on that cosplay. I
Right.
need my Space Marine armor.
Oh yeah, we're road tripping in costume.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
drive over.
Yeah.
All right, those are the headlines. Let's move on. We've got some crowdfunding to take a look at. All right, today's crowdfunding spotlight is on Goodman Games' new backer kit campaign, just launching today, Chris. Pinball Crawl Classics and Old School Adventures #1, two separate projects. Let's take a look first at, just because I love the name, Pinball Crawl Classics.
Yeah.
This is a boxed set, 5 complete adventures inspired by, you remember those old like sci-fi and fantasy themed pinball machines?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where they draw their inspiration.
Very 70s, 80s vibe.
Yeah. I mean, like spikes and leather and face paint and just
Absolutely.
craziness, right? Designed for use with Dungeon Crawl Classics, along with Mutant Crawl Classics, if you want to factor that in. But it can be adapted for other tabletop fantasy RPGs as well. So Pinball Crawl Classics. The other component, Old School Adventures. It's a line of hardcover adventure paths for 5e. Classic style, modern play. The first module is called Ruins of the Twilight Marches. It sends low-level heroes into the Dwarf Holds, a once great region now overrun with shadowed threats, beckoning players into a traditional heroic quest. That sounds cool, but it really, the Pinball Crawl Classics.
Yeah.
That's what I'm in for.
Yeah. So it's just inspired by that art, right? That's what
Right. Right.
There's not like actually any pinball involved.
Correct.
Yeah.
This art, the vibe, like what sort of stories come to mind whenever we look at this? Let's make that adventure.
Yeah. I know that sounds fun. I like that.
All right, one more stop today. We've got some listener feedback. Last week, we had a really good talk about subsystems that you can throw onto any game, kind of universal subsystems borrowed from specific systems, but that we think could apply anywhere. So we were talking interludes from Savage Worlds, negotiations and downtime projects from Draw Steel, and then like powered by the apocalypse style countdown or progress clocks. We've got a couple of folks who weighed in.
Grom Molotok says, I've lost track of the number of con games I've played where the GMs use the clock mechanic. To date, I haven't used it in any of my games. As for their effectiveness, it really depends on the GM and communication. If the GM's filling a clock, but the players have no idea what it means, it's not much use. Telegraphed properly, it provides a sense of momentum that keeps play from getting bogged down in minutia. I can understand that.
Sure. In our discussion on clocks, you asked me, so is this something that the players see? And I said, yeah, they've got to be able to see it. And I think, he writes to that point.
Yeah, it's the whole point. I mean, it's really for the players, basically. I mean, it's something that the GM's providing for the players. So, yeah, I agree. This is all about communication. Understanding what this thing is, what it means.
So, Grom, thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the listen. Wookie Man speaks about interludes. He says, marrying interludes with a mechanical benefit is a great idea. We had talked about Savage Worlds recommends awarding a player a Benny for participating in an interlude. And so we said, well, what is the currency in the game that you're applying it to? If it's Draw Steel, throw them a hero token. So marrying interludes with a mechanical benefit is a great idea. It might also help teach my players that it is okay to invent something on the spot. Not every detail of backstory and character needs to be laid out before or even vetted by the director before you present it. And awarding a hero token for it both solves one of my hurdles as a director and rubs me the wrong way. Hero tokens are meant to reward heroism, self-sacrificing, or plainly as rewards for great rolls out of combat. And I'm not doing a good job of rewarding them to my players when everything in the game is heroic. In that sense, this could help me give chances to earn hero tokens, but telling a campfire story doesn't feel heroic.
So, well, I mean, there's two options here. I mean, one, you just sort of recognize that this is part of the play, or you could, introduce a different type of currency. Like maybe a hero token affects these things, and maybe this background token affects something else, like an interaction.
Edge on a future power roll.
Right.
So it's a little more situational.
Yeah.
As for it being a reward for something heroic, well, maybe it's heroic of the player, maybe not the character, but the player is taking a bold move and putting themselves out there and coming up with some backstory on the fly. So, I think in this case, I'm looking to reward the player more than anything else.
Yeah. No, I see that. Yeah, for some players, that's the most heroic thing they'll do all day.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It is.
It's hard for some people to do that. For some people, it comes naturally. But, yeah, that is pretty heroic.
This is also something that you could limit, right? Like you can earn one of these if we're playing Draw Steel. Maybe you get one interlude per echelon. It's not something that's happening every session from every character.
Yeah.
But if every character is telling a story once every couple of levels, I don't see the harm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a different approach. And here he's trying to use it, to remind himself to give out hero tokens because that's easy stuff to forget.
Yeah. I need you guys to use hero tokens before I start giving you any more.
Yeah. We've just kind of unanimously refused.
Right. It's like you've all just united. No, we will not use these.
No, never. No.
So, and they're supposed to be in a pool.
Yeah.
Like it's not that you all have your own individual hero. They're for the group. But the last time that we played, I said, these are anybody's to use, but I am putting one in front of each of you. Right in front of you. Still couldn't get you to bite.
No,
and they're powerful.
They are, but it's like, you're going to be a little baby and use your hero token. Use your little baby token.
It's like this game of chicken, right?
Yeah.
All right. So thanks to Wookie Man, as always, for the great feedback. Thanks again to Grom. And thanks to you for listening today and kicking off your week with Thieves Can't. If you want to weigh in, of course, thievescantcast@gmail.com. Drop a note in the comments wherever you're listening. And I think that'll do it for today, Chris. Coming back tomorrow, get ready. We're going to get a little weird.
We're going to get weird?
Weirder.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tomorrow, some unearthed obscura. We're gonna dig into history to find some real world lore that we can spin into our game.
I always love these.
So that's coming up tomorrow. Until then, have some great gaming, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Can't. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.